Okay, here is the stupidity of the mainstream media. And this is where we get to the point of the political influence, of the politics, the activism that happens in Hollywood, in the movie industry. But before we start, don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, share, hit that notification bell, switch to all, and you'll receive all of our notifications here on Cuticast TV and Man with the Show. Now, just recently, the movie with Jamie Lee Curtis, Halloween Kills, was just released in the theaters just this past week. And mixed reviews on it. I'm done with the Halloween stuff. You know, I said this in many videos before. When is a sequel one too many? And I think we've reached that point level a long time ago. And I said this once, and I'll say it again when it comes to the Halloween genre. They should have been with the anthology. I think that would have been a much better. And this is looking back at Season of the Witch. Most people like saying, oh, I hate Season of the Witch and stuff like that, because most people put it to the perspective that Halloween is Michael Myers. Not that originally the people who wanted to do this wanted to use Michael Myers as one story and create other stories similar to like a Tales from the Crypt or Tales from the Dark Side. You know, there have been many anthology creep show. But they did 2 movies, and people were expecting the third one to be Michael Myers. And then when they went to this other story, which was a good story, it was a very good story. And when you look back today, people are giving more respect to Season of the Witch than it got back when it was released in the 80s. Now, the one major thing that's gotten me, this is what angers me to the situation, is because here we got grifters, we got activists. Grifters and activists are the same. You know, these are people that basically don't give a shit about what you're watching. They just want to interject their politics into what you're seeing because they want their own movies for themselves. Well, go out and make it yourself if you want to do that. But nobody's going to come to see it because it's garbage. And that's how it's been with a lot of, and you've seen this a lot of films, where you've changed characters, whether they've gone from a male to a female, they changed to a minority. If the person was a redhead, white, they changed it to a minority, and the sexuality. Where we've seen already on a Huffington Post article is that on the average, someone in the LGBTQ community doesn't want to see themselves really in any film. They don't want people to walk up and says, "Hi, I'm John and I'm gay." That's not what they want. They want to see a good story like everybody else. Now you have the situation. And let me tell you something. And you can see there have been many films of the nature where a killer goes out and kills. Do you think that killers like Jason, Mike Myers, Freddy Krueger, Chucky care about if they're a minority or not, or what sexuality the person is? Because here we're getting stories that Michael Myers is homophobic in a new film. Are you fucking crazy? Just because there's a gay couple in the movie and gets killed by Michael Myers doesn't make him racist. Do you not understand this? Do you not? This is the same issue going back to It as well. We had a situation at It where there is a murder. I believe it was a murder of a gay person in the novel itself, and I think they put it in a film because I didn't see the second film. And there have been other films of that nature. Do you not think that a bent on evil, an evil like Michael Myers, cares what sexuality you are? Does he walk up and say, "Excuse me, are you gay? Okay, I'm going to kill you." Think about that for a minute. Think about the situation of this nature, that someone writes a story of this nature, and this is on several different mainstream media sites, that they've written this story, or they've taken one story and repeated it several times. Anybody is up for grabs in a horror film. Anyone. And we've seen this. We've seen this situation. You know, people make jokes. Oh, black people are the first ones to go. They don't look at color. They just kill and kill and kill again. And before you say, well, you know, we're singled out because we're gay, I can count on 2 films I can look at that have had a transgender and a cross-dresser who were killers in a movie. If you go back to the movie Dress to Kill with Michael Caine, spoilers, the killer in the movie dresses like a woman to murder women. And then, of course, the infamous, which is one of my favorite films of all time, one of my favorite horror slashers, the great Sleepaway Camp, with another spoiler, that the killer at the end was the female character of the movie, played by the phenomenal Felissa Rose, who you find out, and before you say it, no, she's not, she's a woman, but the character she played was a transgender murderer. Because, and just to give you, and to spoil the movie, I'm sorry to spoil the movie on you, her character, Angela, was actually a boy who had a tragic accident, and her aunt, played by Desiree Gold, decided that she already had a boy, and she always wanted a girl, and turned, I think his name was Peter originally, the main character, into Angela. And there is a scene at the end where they pasted Felissa Rose's head on a body, male body, and you could see, as they say, the member, that it is a male playing a woman. So you have to look to the perspective is nobody is above situation. And this is why and this is why we talk with the Chappelle situation and stuff like that with transgenders and stuff like that, and the gay community, minority community, with comedy and stuff like that. Nobody is above the situation where he said, well, we can't make fun of these people. We can't put these people in the movie and have them die. I'll give you one more. Road Warrior. If you remember Road Warrior. And there was a gay couple in the Road Warrior. Yes, that's right. Vernon Wells played a character, Wes, I think it was. Wes, however you want to pronounce that name, in the Road Warrior. And he had someone on the back of his bike with the bitch seat and was killed. Now you may say, well, we don't know if they were gay. Trust me, that was the bitch seat. That was his bitch. So you look to the perspective that when you see articles like this The stupidity that the mainstream media wants to put in people's heads, that basically we can't have characters like this killing gay people or minority. It's a situation. This is the reason why they want to change the industry to their nature, to bend to the whim. By changing characters, race swapping, gender swapping, making certain characters more heroic than others, to the situation where certain films where you have women that are, I'm sorry to say, you could have women heroes, action stars and stuff like that, and there have been many through the nature, but when you put women that are very small up against guys that are just Arnold Schwarzenegger size, you're really pushing it. You're really pushing the narrative to the situation of an action hero. I've seen many films where the female action star hero is put down by one of the villains because he happened to be bigger. There have been. Go back and look. There have been many films, especially in the 80s. There are plenty of films out there where people are murdered, and unless the specific movie that the murderer is focusing on one particular style, which that does happen, that's where the terminology serial killer comes in. And there have been live serial killers in history that focus on, some focus on women, some focus on gay men, some focus on children. There was a women's serial killer that focused on her Johns. She was a hooker, and the Johns, and she did the murdering. There was a movie out on that. But to just put in people's heads that this particular monster killer picks and chooses people by their gender, by their sexuality, is preposterous. And it should stop. And the persons who wrote these articles should apologize. Should really apologize. And I'm going to before we go, I just want to bring up this there is a article that was written in Gaming, which is home of queer geek culture, who themselves have said, no, Michael Myers isn't homophobic in Halloween Kills. And you could see from the gay community, they are saying that basically, no, this is twisted, it's perverse. Whoever wrote this is just insane. And they go into explaining what they believe in the situation. And of course, they blame Twitter, and also I blame Twitter as well. Because when these mainstream media see stuff on Twitter, they take it for granted that it's factual. I
don't give a fuck because Twitter's not a real place.
Well, now whether it was someone's joke on Twitter or not, why the mainstream media has taken upon themselves to write articles like this shows that they're pure garbage. They've done no research. They've not ever watched a Halloween movie or understand the situation. And that's what the problem is. You go to school and you get a gender studies degree to go write for a newspaper or write for a online news feed without thinking that I should check my notes. I should check who said this, why was it said, and maybe I should sit down and watch the movie. Maybe you should do that. Watch the original movies. There's plenty of them. Plenty of serial killer movies. There are plenty of other movies. There are plenty of horror films. This is why I got really mad at Stargirl this season. And you say, so, well, what does Stargirl have to do with Halloween Kills? The villain in Stargirl, Eclipso, was recently called racist. Racist in one of the last episodes. I think it was episode 8. And we do have a video. You can look on my video list. There is a video on there. Eclipso is evil. Pure evil. Dark. Kills children. Kills everybody. He tortures people. Devours them. Eats them. Doesn't care what you are. Doesn't care what sexuality, what color. He may use that against you to make you mad and to make you upset. But is he being racist? No, not at all. He's pure evil. And Michael Myers is pure evil. And Jason is pure evil. They don't care who they kill. They just kill. Plain and simple. So we reached this part of the video. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, share. Don't forget, every Friday night, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific, is the next edition of Saturday Pre-Flight. We have our Halloween edition episode up this week, and it's going to be a good one too. So thank you once again for tuning in. We'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye now.